locations. Let's introduce these guys. In the southwest position as the blue Zerg, it's EG Jaedong RC. And in the northeast, as the red Terran needs to win this one to not give Jaedong the 3-0 victory.
Yeah.
It's EG PuMa RC.
And this tournament is actually dictated by points, so getting 3-0 is the insult to injury. Obviously, it goes first by wins, so that's how you're going to make that top 4. But the second thing, the tiebreaker, is actually the points. So
yeah,
PuMa wants to make a bit of a comeback, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit of a PuMa fan this game in particular. I don't want to see a 3-0. I want to see this guy capitalize on that gameplay he's been playing earlier. I mean, I thought, in particular, game number 1, he did a great job. It was so tragic. You and I actually literally, you're a really good cameraman, because you captured it. We're like, wow, he's picking off the Baileys. He's doing, oh, the effort is gorgeous. And then you're like, wait a second, major engagement. We come back, and it's just boom. Everything's dying. Everything. So I'd like to see him in this game really let his hair down and go at it with this map. I've seen his mech play here, Asus Rog. He tore Idra apart with just beautiful Hellion play. But then the kind of cool thing was he followed it up with a quick snipe of tanks. Like, he didn't just go for the 30-minute push. He came out at minute like 17 after just all game harassing with Hellions and killed with just 10 tanks.
Yes, he did. And so far, you know, because we do see this quite often, is the Zerg player. You had mentioned a little bit where Idra used to roll around with those 30, you know, 25 Mutalisks. And, I mean, we've seen Zergs just kind of fall flat because they do produce too many mutas. Exactly. But one thing that's really nice about JD and Jaedong is that his ability to just utilize the 6 to 8 mutas that he gets. I mean, that means there's a lot of gas left over for a lot of other stuff, like the billion banelings he had, or whether it be a bunch of infestors. And I mean, I know a lot of Zergs are guilty for that, but it's impressive just to see that. And it makes me even more excited just to think about the Mutalist changes that we have in HOTS. That is going to hopefully bring them back as a primary unit and less as a support unit. Is kind of JD's using it more as a support unit for sure.
Gonna make a snarky comment about, yeah, you can tell in these last 2 games, Mulas just suck, don't they? They need a buff.
They blow.
But I guess the point I want to try to illustrate here, too, to follow up with yours, is I really like that just yesterday, you and I were kind of talking about this concept that in Brood War, Jaedong did a great job of being a map control, information-oriented Zerg, meaning, gosh, I blanked on the name of it, so I was kind of dying when we were talking about this. I shouldn't have forgotten about it. And now I actually, having said that, I'm trying to remember. But anyways, the point is, he'll be outside your base, he'll be circling around, he'll be waiting for the opportunity to pounce. Back then, it was more like Lings, Lurkers, but, you know, you'd have Hydralisk mixed in there. It was obviously very Mutalist play in ZvT. But I see that reminiscent in his StarCraft 2 play. A lot of times when people go Ling, Baneling, Mutalist the way he does, again, with the 9 or 10 Mutalist, they get really locked up in trying to be aggressive, looking for that opening to pop those Lings and Banelings in there and blow it up. But Jaedong was so patient that he allowed PuMa to make the mistakes for him and then capitalize on that. But further, he has the Overlords everywhere. He has the creep everywhere. 8 Mutalisks are really good at making sure that when the Marines get picked up into the medevac that's trying to drop, because there's 7,000 Zerglings below it, it dies. And Jaedong did not allow almost any drop to effectively be used, except for the one that hit his 4th. And
honestly, that was actually the worst drop because the attention of PuMa, like you'd mentioned, it was suddenly on that drop, and that's all it took. That blink of an eye, and then suddenly we saw the Fungals just spread over those Marines like a green Snuggie.
Oh, man.
That's not very comfortable. A green Snuggie with an acid inside that just eats at your flesh as you wear it. Because you're already embarrassed because you're wearing it, but then also your flesh is just deteriorating as you're wearing it. So
it's the worst online television purchase I've ever made.
Why did I do it? Man, 2 years ago, that was it. It was like the Snuggie was the Christmas gift to give.
Really?
Oh, man, I'm pretty sure like everyone in my family
It looks
had
comfortable,
one.
but every commercial showed the ridiculous, like, 6 families staring at each other giggling while they're
like
the
so
stupid
happy.
Thing. I'm like, nah.
Yeah. Yep.
Couldn't do it. And I have a rule about buying things on TVs, or from TVs, rather.
You just don't do it.
No. Can't be right. Have you ever bought something from a TV?
I was just trying to think, actually.
You probably have.
I mean, I've never like, oh my god, call now and you could also
only
get
20
like,
minutes, holy crap!
Yeah, exactly.
What if I'm on hold? Does it still count?
But I'm pretty sure I might have purchased something that had that as seen on TV label from, you know, I don't know what it could have been. I'm pretty sure there's a magic bullet at my house.
Well, everyone's got a magic bullet. That was the one that went mainstream, man. It's
Okay.
everywhere now.
But that was a as seen on
right.
TV
You're
to
right,
start,
yeah.
So I can't lie. I think there's a magic bullet in our house.
Yeah. Damn it. I guess that means that I am too. But magic bullets are awesome. Anyways, you can see here from now that's actually kind of a big deal. If you check the vision of Jaedong, that Ling made its way up to the top there.
It did.
It's got an overload. It's going to spot things anyway, so it gets a little bit redundant. But boom, there it is. He sees everything down to the 3rd command center. The interesting thing here is that he had yet put anything on the barracks. He did land it, and there's no second factory. So this is kind of a turning point. It could be anything. There's the 2 armories, so now we know it is mech. But Jaedong doesn't necessarily know that. I will say that. It could have been a bio follow-up. He would have liked to come in about 15, 20 seconds later.
And we've already got a fair amount of Hellions out here. There's 8 of them total. But again, Jaedong's creep spread is actually so great that the Queens really is all he needs for the defense. Now, look at this.
I love that.
Spore out front with the Spine Crawler. Yeah, he could run up through there, but it is going to be a costly and very damaging move to make. And so, yeah, Jaedong puts himself in a great position as these Queens... I mean, this is as inspiring as a Zerg player, you know, and we talk about like that biased sort of commentary, but you know, this makes me want to be a better Zerg, to like spread these out more like this. It's really great to see.
Well, to give you an idea, Weed, of how right you are, Idra has commented that when he watches Jaedong play, it inspires him to be a better Zerg. And say what you want about Idra, he is an amazing Zerg player, and when he gets inspired by watching someone play, you have an idea of how good they are. The only other guy who's ever said that about is Stefano, but then he kind of shakes his head because Stefano doesn't even know why he plays as well as he does. And we're going to have this spot challenge, but I don't like this for PuMa. He's going to have to back away, trying to get the Lings lined up, but they will frustratingly not do that. They're kind of... There we go. That's the position they wanted. A lot of those Lings will get fried, but there's so many Queens behind this, and Jaedong, it's like... he makes Cloak Banshees look like a fallacy. Like, you're not actually supposed to do that. He's got 5 Queens. He's got Spore Crawlers. He already has an Overseer. It looks like... Well, did PuMa do it 7 minutes late? No, he did it exactly right. It's just Jaedong's prepared perfectly. Yeah, and totally set. Right now, the supply is looking about 81 for PuMa, 101 for Jaedong. The creep has subsided a little bit due to the fact that he got his scan off and the Hellions went to work. And a couple of Queens were lost. At one point, I think he was sitting on about 5 or 6 Queens. Now down to 4, 2 of them at the front. So building a few more, obviously, to make sure he's got his ejects going. Now I've got this runaround coming here, and it's the kind of thing that obviously is not going to be spotted by PuMa right now if you go around the side, even though PuMa does have control of the main tower. But right now, what is the confirmation for Jaedong as to what he is up against? He's got 6 Infestors on the way. He is now starting to get that Roach Horn and the +1 attack. Yeah, he's definitely seen it, obviously, with the continuation of the Hellions, but hasn't necessarily seen with confirmation of his own eyes, but has a great idea it's happening. And I actually just watched the production tab literally like 3 seconds before, or as Pathogen plans finish, 3 seconds later, all his Infestors pop out. It's just kind of that small thing that show that Jaedong is learning and preparing better than most. I mean, again, I know a lot of you are like, all right, get off his nuts already. Well, no, I say you get on his nuts because he's actually like the pinnacle of StarCraft. And it's not just him. It's not because he's EG. I've actually been one of his biggest fans since many of you who are listening were born. And actually, as funny as that is, it might actually be true for some of you. My God. But it's also like Flash and a lot of the other guys. They're just a spectacle to watch. They were the best. They're here. And when they touch the game, it's from, you know, they're a gift. So it's really exciting to watch. But I guess the reason I'm kind of just oohing and awing over him is that he is operating off limited information. You do want that Roach Horn. You do want speed. You do want that anchor of roaches so that you can pop down. Oh, he missed it though. The actual stopped him.
God, he missed it, but then the delay allowed him to get the fungal on just about everything. He's going to get another one, throwing out a few more infested Terrans. All the Hellions are going to go down. That fungal is going to kill. Well, this last fungal should kill everything, and there it is.
I don't know. I was babbling about how good he is, but honestly, he's kind of showing it anyway, so I'll just stop talking and let you guys see it. The Greater Spire will finish, or excuse me, not the Greater Spire, the Spire will finish moments after the Hive does complete, which means that he's pretty close to in perfect sync with him teching towards Broodlords. I thought that was a Well, actually, Broodlords are pretty common on here. It's just that this is one of the maps where Broodlords can get handled a little bit easier. And the way that happens is what we kind of saw with PuMa versus Suppy. I mean, if you attack up into a concave Terran in open space, and if they can really open up against those Broodlords and not get confined where the fungals do mega damage, there is a chance that the Vikings, the Thors, the Raven missiles can actually do the damage that's necessary to win that fight. It's when it's a little bit more confined and all of the Vikings get fungled or all the Thors get held back out of range that you start seeing Terran players just not even come close.
So we're now at this. I mean, I'm surprised actually PuMa moved up as far as he did. Yeah, he obviously can't fight. He moved forward, I think, because of the amount of energy that was actually used to get rid of the other Banshees and the Hellions, but at this point he knows he can't totally push forward. And Jaedong was ready for it. The moment he saw the Roach production amplified, he already had a few more Infestors coming out, and this will force PuMa into somewhat of a defensive position here. It did allow him to at least safely get this fourth base up. But what is he going to do now? Using these Hellions to stop short in the back hallway.
You'll notice Jaedong's maxed for the most part. He's got 9 supply open to him. The greatest part is about to finish. Can't make any Broodlords. I bet if you were to hit that I key, we would see that he has like 93-ish drones. 89.
89.
I was, you know
Dude,
what?
Plus minus 5 is
I would
pretty
have
good,
flipped
man.
the table if I said 93 and there's 93. Anyways, okay. The point is, we're due for a Roach battle here. He's going to need to shave off portions of that Roach battle. Now, similar to PvZ, it gets to a certain point where it's hard to lose those Roaches cost effectively. If he can get in and focus down the SVs at that fourth, great. But if he runs into the mech army itself, it's just, he's just throwing him away, essentially. And I think he will get up that fourth.
We're to start to see another CC go down, and he is going to make it over there. There's a planetary there, but he's picking off the gas, doing whatever damage he possibly can. Oh, it looks like some Roaches did get into the main, but we've got a couple of Banshees taking care of those, no problem.
Kill that missile turret.
Yeah, we can get the burrow down. This has been cleaned up over here at the fourth.
Yeah.
Potentially another setup for attack, but everything has now been... oh, no. That's why I killed it, so keep that one Roach there. Being rebuilt, however.
Not the best. You know, again, as the game goes on, it's harder to do that. But Jaedong does not have his Broodlords out yet, and he's fighting mid-map. That's really tough. Those Corruptors are just dead weight. There's no Colossus to shoot down. You do not want to lose the Infestors here. If the Broodlords don't have that Infestor support, then they are toast. I mean, any number of Vikings and Thors will absolutely trounce the Corruptors and then actually the Broodlords as well. But PuMa's pushing annoyingly at exactly the right time, and Jaedong's going to have to make a fight of it. He's going in pre-siege, and he's getting a good surround here. The Thors, you can see the purple health is remaining fairly intact, or green health, excuse me. And they are just dealing wads of damage, but I think he's been thinned out, and yes, he will actually get collapsed in on.
I mean, I really wonder how different of a fight that would have been had he been sieged up a little bit further out. There was a siege that occurred basically as that fight initiated, made those infested Terrans even better. You know, he's going to sneak in here with a Cloak Banshee. I believe these are all spines, and they are, so some drones will be killed over here. Still means he's got 84 drones, so they continue to pop out. But that was quite a few losses there for PuMa. What, 5, 6 Thors went down right there?
I mean, anytime you lose your mech army like that, it's absolutely devastating. It's not like Marines where it's weird, where you can watch like thousands of Marines die, but because they're spending more killing the Marines, they're actually somehow winning, maybe in the Terran. But in this case, losing the mech army like that is a huge setback. I will say that losing Thors is a little bit easier to do than losing like a 10 or 12 tank count if it was a ground-based game. Of course, if they're switching to Broodlords, you actually want to lose those tanks. And I'll tell you the other interesting thing here is look at the production tab. I don't think there's any Broodlords out. No, there still are no Broodlords. He's been staying... Well. Okay, there, fine, yeah. He had still been floating right around 200 the whole time, but then he also put down those additional spines, freed up a little bit. Now we've got 8 coming. Where exactly are those? God, won't it be great when I can just double-click on that and it just takes me right to the Broods? That makes way too much sense. Yeah, thank goodness. They're like secret Broodlords. Oh, Link's going to come up here and identify. Oh, can he get this around? Yeah, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. That's a bit of a mistake from PuMa, and he can't afford that. He needed that 5th base. Like, if there was anything that was going for him, it was that he was on equal footing economically, and that's incredible for a Terran. You can see he's actually banked a lot of money, but the problem with that is that just got sniped for Zerglings, and that's a great way to use those Zerglings. Now, here's the Broodlords. We found them. They have revealed themselves. Open discover. They're moving all the way over here to eliminate these Hellions. 3 Hellions. Jaedong does not mess around, man. Like,
But actually, you know what? Most of the attacks are probably going to happen over here, so
yeah.
I guess it's not that.
Well, he's not fighting for a while, so I guess why not? Right now, he's going to start, again, using up some of those drones on more spine crawlers and that kind of a thing. The thing is with bird's eye view, and this is a common thing to see when people watch these games, they go, well, why doesn't he attack? He knows he's ahead. We're looking at him being like 20 or 30 supply. Well, he's not attacking because he had like 20 supply tied up in lings and a few extra roaches. Get rid of that supply. He needs 20 less drones. Get rid of that supply. Cultivate your army. Secure your bases so you're not running around chasing Hellions, and then attack when you have this mega army and all the defenses you need.
There's some planetaries being put up here in the front lines to try to stop that attack or make it much harder for the attack into it. More tanks out, and still trying to use these Hellions as effectively as possible. Is going to be able to sneak in here, at least eliminate those gas drones.
Yeah, look at those.
But, you know, I mean, at this point in the game, we're starting to see a pretty excellent bank on both sides. And here we have Hellions on all 3 bases right now, Jeff.
Nice.
Look at this.
Yeah.
There are Reds here. They're going to get in right there, get a bunch of drones. We've got everything eliminated over here. Most eliminated over here. And although it has been cleaned up, it'll do its job. Brood Lords.
Good. So bad. He actually scanned, saw him, and was like, oh, I'll get after him.
Well, he has taken out 37 drones. At this point, you're seeing Jaedong drop down to 60.
And it does hurt, because this is working on the flip side, by the way, for PuMa. You don't want Hellions in the final army. You want that extra few Ravens, that extra few Thors. So that's what he's doing. He's trading out Hellions for time/drones, and that's exactly what he needs, because in the meantime, as you're pointing out right now, the Ravens get more energy. And if you can drop a couple of Seeker missiles on that cluster of either Corruptors or Broodlords, or, you know, in some dream scenarios, all of the above, then you're in good shape, actually.
Yeah, there's, I mean, look at this beefy army that we got here from Jaedong.
2/2 upgrades for the air coming in, too. That's really good.
Oh, killing larva. Like crazy. Finally getting a fungal taken out. But again, like these cost-effective Hellions, getting some more drones over here. He's now up to 43 drones. That's going to put him down at 66. Notice we've got Ventral Sacs coming out here for some drop potential as well. But this Spine Crawler wall is most certainly going to stop that from going in. Yeah, and this base, though, even starting to get creeped up. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's not really being saturated. He should be dropping missiles there like from, I don't know how many orbitals he has, like 10 or something. But he's taking top left as well. And again, it's the army. It comes down to army. Terran, and, well, Terran much more so than Zerg has a tough time rebuilding. So he needs to win the fight and win it kind of decisively, because behind that is going to come another wave of Lings and Roaches. That's the thing about Jaedong, by the way. I'm calling it. If he loses these Broodlords and Corruptors, you'll see Roaches and Zerglings as the follow-up. You will not see more Corruptors and Broodlords. I mean, you will see more Broodlords, but that's not what he's resupplying. Sure.
Like, moving forward now, trying to eliminate this creep that's already pushed up to the middle. And
there's that pre-siege, by the way. He's not going to make that mistake again.
Oh, we got,
they're spotted.
Is there a planetary? No.
There is.
But it's not done.
Seconds away.
Yeah, that's
finish
rough.
already, for Pete's sakes.
Yep. Oh.
No, the infested Terrans, you idiot. There you go.
All right,
so we'll be fine. It's going to lose lots of SVs there, though. But middle map's where the tension is. PuMa's not moving, you'll notice. It's moving forward. And again, it's all down to the fight. Thors are in the front. They're going to tank that damage. Tanks behind to do the splash damage necessary to kill what bunches up at the ground. Really, they're going to kill the infestors, so actually the tanks could go a little bit more further forward. There's some shots. Oh, we're going to have that fight. We're going to have that fight, Wheat. Oh, yes.
Yeah, getting close. I mean, almost taking out a Broodlord right there, but PuMa now setting up somewhat of a contain here, forcing his opponent's army to kind of sit around one side, completely avoiding this little Spine Crawler death trap right here. Just puts him in a pretty good spot. Oh, moved up maybe a little bit too close, but this is going to be it. There we see, the Corruptors completely annihilated.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness, now are there enough Vikings left over? They're taking some big fungals right now. There's only about 4 Broodlords left. Not going to make the same mistake. A ton of Corruptors still remain, but the Broodlord army has been gone.
Look at the production tab.
God,
that's a huge mistake.
18
Why?
Corruptors.
He can't, I mean, I don't know. If PuMa pushes, he's pulling back. Okay, so it ends up being the right call. Of course it is. It's freaking Jaedong, but that's scary. I mean, and you know what? Mech can't reload as fast. So I'm watching this and I'm seeing these guys. They know it much better than I do. So, of course, Jaedong says, yeah, you won the fight, but you have to pull back. And that's why I'm going to take the time to make my super army back up again. I'd like to see Jaedong do one thing differently too. One of the things Stefano does so well is in that fight, never more than like 5 Corruptors come from one direction. Those guys come from a full circle, and they come from everywhere. So a missile hits 3 or 4 of them. A package from the Thor hits 3 or 4 of them, but not what we
fight
saw.
alone. Oh, bad idea.
It's a big warrior there. Didn't work out.
Yeah, and you're right, and that that can be very effective. We saw a ton of those Corruptors die, but coming in from another angle, trying to get all around there, worked out good. Pushed PuMa back just a bit.
Yeah.
And over here, I mean, look at the the denial that we're seeing from PuMa over here. He's wasted at least like 3 scans. There are the infestors over here. This Ling still hasn't been cleared out. Now the infestors are down over here. He's not going to realize that he hasn't cleaned out that Ling yet. And Jaedong actually moving into a different position.
Yep. Yes,
and if he gets right in between there, no, it's kind of CG.
Oh
like
no, that mineral line. Oh my God.
What?
Look at the 4th base in the middle there. All right, you didn't see it. They were all following one SCV.
Oh.
Yeah,
they
it's
were?
bad. It's one of that situations.
Ouch.
All right, we got the big push here.
Ouch.
It's coming out. Actually, it's wow, that's really weird. He wants to hit the army in flight. What's that in the middle looking to intercept? There's something coming back. More Thors? Are those the infestors? Yeah, they almost got broadsided. That could have been scary.
Could have been real bad. The Corruptor's going to make it over there, okay. These broods, though,
back.
It's going to take a little while.
They're coming back, and that's good for PuMa. You want to fight that army discombobulated. You want it moving around, not necessarily working together. And that's what's happened. He's cracked down. He's bust down the door. Look at that right side. We have the bases actually being challenged now. And you know what? Jaedong's not one to be pushed around. He's doing the exact same thing right back at him.
Oh
my gosh!
My gosh, that was big. A lot of those Ravens.
That's
huge. A lot of the Ravens. Only one Hunter Seeker gets actually put out there. Both of the Thors going to fall with ease. And is that all of his Ravens? Oh, yeah. That I don't know what. I don't know how he does this now. Jaedong has kept these infestors over here, made this a real pain. He's going to get 3 more Thors over here. We've got a couple of spread out. They're just all over the place, and PuMa is just kind of crumbling a bit here.
Well, yes and no. I actually thought, I mean, obviously getting his Ravens caught was a big deal. This harass on the left side is absolutely amazing. And if you look at that income of PuMa, it's stagnated. So certainly, I mean, this secret base is ridiculously profitable for him. But he did take out 2 bases on the right side.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, now that I assess this, I agree with you. I mean, if he would have killed some infestors there or caught a part of the army in the middle of the map, then maybe we'd be closer. He landed a secret missile against the Corruptors, but that's not a big deal. And killing bases when you've got a 4K, 5K bank, it's fine. That's not that bad.
Still has not gone on the space. So if you look at the mining bases right now, that is going to be mined out real quick with all those mules. There's just very light mineral patches, and then of course we got this one. So,
where are the SCVs?
Look at the bank.
Is this guy on a? Yeah, he's got 39 SCVs. So his army's gigantic, by the way.
Yeah, his army is massive. You're absolutely right about that. Jaedong's bank sitting at 4,000, 5,000 though.
Yeah.
Loss of those 2 bases.
Again, yeah, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Right side, something's getting snuffed out by the creep. Right side over there.
Oh, right side,
infestors, yeah. Oh, the base is found. All right, well, that's the end of that. There's no defending it. You got to get out of here.
At least his mules died. I mean, like, expired before they got killed here.
Not so bad. So infestors re-entering left side up there, really good. A little bit of Hellion harass over here. It's not going to get anywhere with the entire army of Jaedong there. But I'm loving this commitment to just ebbing away at the income over here with energy, with infestors. Who cares?
Yeah, he is exactly. You know, I've heard you call him over the few days like those free units, and it worked out pretty good. Not only that, but he's also assaulting from over on this side, so he's getting a lot of damage done. And in fact, there you see it happening yet again. It's like,
Beautiful play.
You may save that planetary, but you're going to lose all these SCVs now. Let's just take a quick look. 55 killed by Jaedong and 46 by PuMa.
Yeah.
Oh, he's finally going to do it. He's finally going to clear them out. Just watch this slow.
Sweet time.
There we
Gets
go.
him though. That's good. And he needs to lock it down. I mean, he has like a kind of bank, but notice the gas. It's very low. I mean, the next time you lose army, that's pretty much it. He's not going to have much more coming out just because of gas. So he needs that extra 6 or so gases over there to start mining effectively, which means locking down that position and not allowing infestors to disrupt it as they have.
So let's just take a look at the army tab. A few Zerglings out, 9 Broodlords, 9 Corruptors, 17 Infestors, 10 Thors, 20 Vikings, 7 Ravens. So is back up on that. Just the 1 tank, 14 Hellions still out on the map as well.
They both have the right army, to be honest with you. We've got 3 more Ravens coming out and 14 more Corruptors. The defining factor here is going to be army control, how they handle this. And Jaedong in the fight down prior to the main fight at top left, the southern fight, I don't think he handled that very well. You need those Corruptors spread, you need the Broodlord spread, and you even need the Infestors spread, because if they're bunched up, they get locked down by their own infested parents. But we're going to have that fight. The better concave is for PuMa. But where's the Ravens? There's the Ravens to the right side. The Broodlords are virtually obliterated. There goes everything.
And
but I think Jaedong still might win just with the Infestors.
Yeah, he had so many fungals down on the start of that map, or the start of that engagement. We're going to have a few more go down. There's a lot of Corruptors left. But, it's not. It doesn't even matter at this point based off of what he killed right now. The bank set, and there it is. Oh, wait, no. How about 134?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Let's just drop 3K and make this happen. And, I mean, what does he do, right? He has like a few...
does he make 134 Hellions?
I would. You would? And then I'd be like, how did I lose, Jeff? How did I lose?
The coolest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my God, there's just Zerglings everywhere. You could just see it. In fact, these Hellions were like, wait, no.
We're called back home. 10 Hellions are queued up, but isn't in time.
And they're all not going to go to the same location. He's going to split them off. He's going to take out some of these in the middle. He gets the fungals there on those Hellions, and the infested Terrans do a lot more to clean that up. I mean, this is damage done, and from here he can completely rebuild everything else he needs. If there's 9 Infestors coming out, he still has all these Corruptors as well.
That's a lot of Thors.
Yeah. It is.
I mean, Thor Hellion at this point actually becomes stupid powerful. He's got to go now, though, does PuMa, in my opinion. He's rebuilding behind this, but he needs... Oh, my gosh. He actually might run down all that. Oh, the fungals are massive here. The Lings coming in. The Hellions are getting torn to pieces. Thors in support. They will, of course, clean this up, anchoring with their higher hit points, but also their damage output. And the Hellions behind this is the best push he's got. There's 11 Broodlords somewhere being built.
Where are they? Right over here.
They just got whiffed by a scan, too. They will not be found, and when those guys come out, it's going to be tough going for our Terran player.
And, I mean, while these bases to go down wouldn't be good as this game continues to go on for another 10 minutes.
Better.
Exactly. And having these over, these Broodlords in the spot where they're at, this army I think is going to be comfortable moving up here. And you know what happens when these Broodlords backdoor? It's not pretty.
I mean, this might, to be honest with you, it is when this army dies, but it might even be just an instant GG. 11 Broodlords show up, unless they like literally form some kind of Cirque du Soleil human pyramid and then engage the Thors, they're gonna die. Or the Thors are, rather. They're not good in that matchup.
And here come the Broods coming down on top of these Hellions. Hellions gonna get fungled, and this is gonna be cleaned up, leaving only the Thors behind. The supply is quickly dropping down to 152. Jaedong just reinforcing with a bunch of additional Infestors. And look at, these guys are all trapped in here, so they are not getting out of here without taking a significant amount of damage.
And you can see he's target firing the Corruptors to a certain extent. He's making, now it's the Thors, or excuse me, the Broodlords. He's in range for it. So there's the shots, but it's just not enough. Thor's getting surrounded by Broodlings. And, they killed a couple Broodlords, but they're going to die here. And this army's now the army. If you look behind us in the production tab, 10 more Hellions in production because he doesn't have the gas for anything else.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Hellion Viking with a single battlecruiser. That's not really good at all.
It's not that great.
No, it's not great.
No. And not giving up quite yet, but at this point, in hindsight, it definitely, we're seeing the bank, like most of the gas for Jaedong is gone, but reestablishing these bases after being taken out by those Thors.
Jaedong's actually not mining gas. It's at 95.
None. Yeah.
But he's the guy that has the gas army still out there. Again,
yep.
Have to kick a dead horse, but PuMa's just spinning the minerals he's got right now, trying to buy time. Because he is starting to mine from that top left base. Just one of them, though. The other one should be mined out for the most part, and he's not mining from the other base that is still disrupted by a Zergling burrowed there. And now he's going to cut into some drones here, but again, as Wheat's been pointing out, I mean, it's a 3K mineral bank, so yeah, go ahead, kill some drones. I can afford that. If you start killing Infestors or Broodlords, that's where it gets concerning because, you know, they cost gas.
Additional Hellions going down in the middle. And it doesn't even matter. I mean, look at the energy on these. In fact, he didn't even need that many Infested Terrans, but I've got energy to spare. And these Hellions, despite the fact being some of the only units that can come out with the weak gas intake that he's got, and oh, this is going to be...
It gets worse. I mean, everywhere I look, there's like Infestors spitting out stuff. That's
incredible. Yeah. And eventually this army pushes, and I think we're going to see a 3-0 here.
Yep.
By Jaedong, which I think automatically does advance him at least out of the out of the group.
Birthday. 6-0
really?
On his birthday. Yeah, today's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Jaedong. Happy birthday.
Of course, he's an immortal being, so it's weird to celebrate a birthday because it's kind of more like him allowing us to give him further favor more than anything. But
of course.
Yeah. So these Hellions will get killed because I guess Jaedong realized, I mean, he says, you know what, this is one of the only bases you're mining from, so I guess I'll go ahead and kill that. Just make sure it's done. PuMa's holding on. He's down 40, 50 supply. The gas is just crawling for Jaedong. So the slight story here is that outside of another like 134 Zergling reproduction, it is mostly just this. I mean, maybe another 2 Infestors or something like that, or 12 Roaches.
Well,
that's actually a really cool choice.
Not bad. Yeah, absolutely. If you're having, even if you just park them down here where you're trying to get some gas.
Exactly. Yeah.
Roach can do pretty good versus those guys. I suppose based off of the drone count, look at that, 14 to 28. Yeah. Loving it. And I think that hurts real bad.
So in the In Control tournament again, this would be the time where we cut to you and I, and the watermark in the background. It's like Hellions killing 5 drones, but then everything else dying. I mean, that was all his Vikings. That was his gas. And you heard the Ravens. We didn't get to see it, but I'm sure that was them as well.
And what now? 28 down to wow. All right, 6 SCVs, 14 drones, workers.
That was 0 in that, yeah.
Who needs workers?
Look at this. Oh my God! Get the last one, please.
Yes. Workers eliminated. Oh,
somewhere else it's 0, by the way. The final SV, we missed it. He died somewhere.
He did die. I think it was over here. I think it was over here by some.
Just keep that up. That's actually the most important. 45 minutes into the game. Look at the harvesters.
0.
Look at their income.
0 for PuMa, and 5 for Jaedong. I can't believe I would have, like, after that second battle, I was like, there's no way it gets to this point. But
what if you know what would be so funny is if they both aren't mining somehow, and then they just stop fighting, and then it just auto draws.
Oh, no, here it is. The fungals go down.
Well played, PuMa. Well played, sir.
GG.